this week. A lot of thrillers, a lot of shockers, a lot of things have been going on. But are you happy or are you sad? Are you one of the teams that are going to be angry throughout the week, or maybe it's just for a day? It's still football. Enjoy it with passion, but of course be careful not to overdo it. I am your host and your Wonder Woman on the Sports Airways, talking about sports. Uchenna Diana Onubogo, and let's tell you what was going on. Yes, in Nigeria. Yes, let's talk about what went on in the President's Federation Cup. Yes. Talking about yesterday. What happened? Of course, Nasarawa United defeated Bayelsa United 5-3. That was actually after the 1-1 draw that took them all the way to extra time, and then in the penalty shootout, Nasarawa United defeated Bayelsa United 5-3 in the penalty shootout. That was in Anambra Stadium. And then we have Warri Wolves. They actually played a 1-1 draw as well with Wiki Tourists, and they did reach the penalty shootout stage after extra time, and that ended with a 3-4 defeat to Warri Wolves, and Wiki Tourists move on. Now Ikorodu City defeated Beyond Limits. Who are they? Yes, Beyond Limits, talking about the Academy of Remo Stars, who have been doing so good in the President's Federation Cup, but this is their last match. Yes, yesterday was their last match, as they eventually did have to bow out to Ikorodu City FC with a 2-0 defeat to Beyond Limits. But of course we did enjoy having them in the President's Federation Cup. Now let's talk about Aqua United that defeated Inter Lagos 1-0. Yes, 1-0 it was. Now we also have Plateau United who defeated Osun United 2-1. Bendel Insurance, they actually did pull a very serious, should I say, upset. Yes, it was an upset, but of course it has to happen. Rangers, they lost to Bendel Insurance, yes, in the President's Federation Cup. Another upset, of course, that this actually is our own upset, if I would say. Talking about Solution FC, they fell to Kwara United in Benin. They fell and they lost 3-0 to Kwara United. Now Solution FC is out of the President's Federation Cup. Another upset that happened in that match, talking about the tournament, the President's Federation Cup, is Eyimba leading to 10th place club in the NNL. That is the second division of the Nigerian Football League. One other than Babakaliki FC defeated Eyimba. The mighty Elephants, they fell to Abakaliki FC 2-0, and they are also out of the President's Federation Cup. Wow, that was a shocker. That was the biggest upset of yesterday. Now, knowing that Eyimba will not be moving forward to the round of 16 fixtures. Yes, that is exactly how it is. And now, of course, knowing that they are out, it is now the quarterfinals that remains to be played. Now, knowing that Eyimba is out of it, but of course they are out but not down, hoping that Eyimba eventually do pick up, and let's see what else they can do for us in the coming tournament. They were out of the CAF Confederation Cup, and now they are out of the Federation Cup. Talking about the Nigerian version, that is the President's Federation Cup. Eyimba still need to pick up themselves, and let's see what will be going on later on. Now, of course, this is what happened in the Federation Cup yesterday. There are still matches that will be coming up later on when the fixtures are confirmed for the quarterfinal stage that will be coming up later on. Now let's talk about what is happening in other parts of the Nigerian football. Yes, let's talk about the under-20. Yes, our under-20 boys, they will be starting the under-20 AFCON games. Yes, the African Cup of Nations for the under-20 2025 will be taking place in Egypt. Now, if you remember, in March, Cote d'Ivoire, that is Ivory Coast, they pulled out of hosting the AFCON 2025 for this year. They pulled out just a month before the tournament, and a lot of things had to be changed. Yes, a lot of things had to be changed. Talking about the draw and the groups, and they were also taken out of the tournament. They were disqualified from the tournament for actually pulling out as hosts for the had that right to be there, but now they are no longer part of the Under-20 African Cup of Nations that will be happening. The hosting rights have been given to Egypt, and they have been new groups that have actually emerged. Now, talking about on Sunday, the Confederation of African Football did actually organize a new draw for the new groups in order to add the new team to the Under-20. Now, of course, in the former group, Nigeria was in Group B to face Egypt, South Africa, and Morocco, which was the group of death. But in the new group now, Nigeria is still in Group B. But let me tell you what has happened. Nigeria now has to face Tunisia, Kenya, and Morocco as well. It seems Morocco don't want to leave us. They just want to play Nigeria by all means. Now let me tell you what is happening in Group A. Since Cote d'Ivoire they are no longer part of the AFCON Under-20. Egypt are now the host in Group A. Yes, they come first with Zambia coming second. Now of course Sierra Leone is also in Group A. South Africa now they are also featuring in Group A, and Tanzania they are also in Group A. There will be 5 teams in Group A, but 4 in Group B, and also 4 in Group C, yes. And also in Group B, like I said, we have Nigeria coming first as one of the top place teams, and we also have Tunisia, and they are also, to complete the team, we're talking about Group B, Kenya and Morocco. And in Group C, Senegal, they are coming first as the holders of the last Under-20 tournament. Now we have Central African Republic, DR Congo, and last but not least, Ghana. They are completing the Group C fixtures, and this tournament will be starting from the 27th of April to the 18th of May. And will be playing her first match against Tunisia on the 1st of May. Yes, that is how it will be going down in the AFCON Under-20. Nigeria will be facing Tunisia on the 1st of May before facing Morocco on the 4th, and eventually facing Kenya on the 7th of May. Now this time around, still talking about what is happening in the sports world. Now let's take a dive into the women's football and tell you what is happening in the female side of Nigerian football. Yes. And the Nigerian Under-17 Flamingos, they are set to face Algeria later for the World Cup qualifiers, which is going to be their final World Cup qualifiers. Yes, now the Nigerian Under-17 Flamingos have intensified their preparations ahead of this weekend's World Cup final against Algeria that will be taking place. The first leg will be taking place in the Remo Star Stadium in Kenya. Yes, now of course it is still worthy to note that the Flamingos defeated South Africa's Under-17 in the 5-1 aggregate. Yes, in their previous round. The head coach, of course, talking about Bankole Olowokore, has said that they are ready to face any other opponent. Now, if you do remember, Nigeria's Under-17, they went to South Africa, beat South Africa, giving them 3 goals, and still came back home, even after South Africa opened the stadium to fans and made it ticket free in order to get the multitude that will cheer against Nigerians. But of course, with Nigerians, we don't need crowd. And that is exactly what happened in South Africa, and they increased the aggregates to 5-1. Yes, after the 3 goals they gave against South Africa, and now they'll be facing Algeria. Now Algeria, on their part, they defeated Botswana 4-0 at home, but they lost to Botswana in the away match that was featured in Gaborone in Botswana, and the Algerian delegation is supposed to be in Nigeria as we speak. Yes, they are supposed to have landed yesterday, and it was confirmed that they did land yesterday in order to face and prepare for the match that they will be having this weekend. Now, of course, the referees that have been provided for the match are none other than Ugandan referee Shamira Nabada. Who will officiate the game alongside Baru Gambona from Burundi and Immaculate Onagera from Uganda as well. Now, it is worthy to note as well that Morocco will be hosting the Under-17 World Cup tournament, the Women's Under-17 this year. Yes, it will kick off from October 17 to October 18, and 5 African teams are expected to participate since it has been increased to 24-team format. Yes, so if our 5 African countries are to make it, and if Nigeria want to be in the Under-17, talking about the women's tournament, they have to beat Algeria, because this is the final qualifying game. Beating Algeria home and away will be a very, very big game. But of course, it is a tough match, as Algeria have also declared that they are ready for Nigeria, and they have to make it in their fellow North African counterpart, hosting the Under-17 this time around. And everybody's eyes is on the Flamingos and of course the Algerians. Let's see what will happen in Ramos Stadium, talking about it, Kenny. Yes, this weekend. Yes, that is where it will be happening. Now, if we have to talk about what is happening outside Europe, yes, it is the Champions League. It is the Champions League. That is the main game that has been on the mouth of everyone since yesterday. What are we talking about? Arsenal, they made history. Of course, Arsenal, they stunned everybody from the first match to the second leg. It has been a very, very, very thrilling match. Quite an interesting one it has been. And of course, Arsenal, they defeated Real Madrid at home, the Santiago Bernabeu. Yes, in Spain. That is exactly what happened. They were stunned. Talking about Real Madrid, when Declan Rice actually did do his best. Like, what can you say? The man of the match, none other than Declan Rice. He got it in the first game, and now he did it again in the second game, being so good, impressive. This kind of Rice, then go chop him by force, and they did. Bukayo Saka did miss a penalty early on in the game, but of course he actually redeemed himself and scored in the 65th minute with Gabriel Martinelli giving it, making it 2 in the extra time, talking about 90 plus 3 after Vinicius Jr. scored in the 67th minute, trying to pull one back for Real Madrid, but that is not what was supposed to go down. Real Madrid were unimpressive in the game. Yes, they were so unimpressive. They had a total shots of 19, but in the end it was just 4 shots on targets to Arsenal's 6. They had 10 corners to Arsenal's 4, and of course a lot of fouls committed, talking about 18. But of course they are the 15-time champions, and they were knocked out by Arsenal, who have never actually won the European Cup. But let's see what will happen. Is this the year Arsenal go all the way? Of course they are not the only ones who pulled an upset. Let's talk about what happened between Inter Milan and Bayern Munich. Yes, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, Harry Kane. You're talking about Harry Kane, who is none other than the prolific goal scorer. He scored in the 52nd minute before Lautaro Martinez, captain fantastic for Inter Milan. He scored just after that, 6 minutes after Harry Kane's goal. He scored in the 58th minute, and of course Benjamin Pavard, he actually scored against his former club, talking about Bayern Munich. He scored in the 61st minute, making it 2-1, but then Eric Dyer scored again, making it 2-2, but the aggregate was 4-3, and Bayern Munich were knocked out of the Champions League. Vincent Kompany was really surprised by that, but it had to happen. They had already lost in the first leg at home, and this time around they just had to lose again. They had 5 shots on target, talking about Inter Milan to Bayern Munich 6, and of course the possession was so much on Bayern's side, but they were still the losers of the match. Now we already know how it will go down. We already know what will be going on in the semi-finals. It will be Arsenal taking on PSG. When will that happen? On Tuesday, the 29th of April. Arsenal will be taking on PSG by 8 p.m. in the Emirates Stadium. And on the 20th and the 30th, that is Wednesday of April, Barcelona will be facing Inter Milan. This is a match you don't want to miss. Talking about Arsenal taking on PSG and Barcelona taking on Inter Milan. Now, of course, we still have to give you the rundown of things that will be happening later on today. And what am I talking about? Let's talk about the Europa League. Yes. In the Europa League, Manchester United, they will be actually hosting Lyon after having an aggregate of 2-2. They played a 2-2 draw in the last month. Athletic Club will be facing Rangers at home with a 0-0 aggregate so far. The winner of the match goes through automatically. And then we have Lazio playing Bordeaux Glimt, and we have Eintracht Frankfurt facing Tottenham at home with an aggregate of 1-1. And with this, we come to the end of Sports Drive today. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for joining us. You can join us again tomorrow for more sports news updates and, of course, news in facts. Bye for now. See you some other time.